We know that Ash Wednesday today marks the beginning of the season of Lent. But if you notice the language of the liturgy today in the opening prayer, today also marks the beginning of a great spiritual military campaign. I want to look at today's opening prayer, the collect as it's known, as kind of the roadmap for just what it is that we are starting as we begin Lent. Here it is again. Grant, O Lord, that we may begin with holy fasting this campaign of Christian service, so that as we take up battle against spiritual evils, we may be armed with weapons of self-restraint. You can just hear those words, campaign, battle, weapons. All this language is meant to stir up in us the idea that we're at war. We are entering this Lent, not on just some kind of nonchalant, happy little time where we just, maybe we give up chocolate or some other things, a kind of, season of self-improvement. No. The church says very clearly, this is war. We are going to battle this Lent. And today marks the beginning of that battle. So our opening prayer there, it's meant to prepare us to get ready for what it is we're entering. A couple things. All right, it says that we are beginning a campaign of Christian service. That word service, it loses a little bit in the English. In the Latin, this is a praesidium, a fortification of militiae Christiani. Militia, like military. The church says, we are to make a fort. A presidium is a fort. It's a defensive protection. If you're going to go into battle, one of the things you've got to make sure is not only that you've got a good offense, but that you're also protected. You don't want to go into battle unprotected. So right away, the church is saying, this is a militia, a military campaign, and you need a good presidium, a fort, a defense. Just like a boxer, it would have one hand to kind of deliver the offense. You also got to keep your guard up, they'll say in boxing, so you don't get hit. That's what the church is saying today as we begin. Make a good defense. Make sure you're ready for this campaign. And notice, how will we do this? It says that we will do it with spiritual fasting. Interesting. What kind of military begins a campaign by fasting? It seems like that would weaken the army. And in, normal worldly battles, that would be true, but not in the spiritual life. This battle that we're about to enter, the best way we could prepare is actually with fasting. So we begin this campaign, with training, spiritual fasting, holy fasting. That's how we begin. And then the second half of the prayer, it prays that we who are about to enter this campaign, I love it in the Latin, it's the pugnatori. It's a future participle. It's like we who are about to go into battle. Again, what a perfect prayer for this first day of Lent. The church is saying you are getting into a fight. You better be ready for it. So defensive nature, yes. But then what else does the church pray we have? Well, it says that we are about to do battle against spiritual evil. The word there in Latin is even deeper than just evil. It means all kinds of evil, not even just like so much evil spirits, but it actually implies more the evil, negative things that would be in us. This is certainly a battle against Satan and his kingdom. But more than anything, the battle of Lent that we're entering is a battle against the spiritual nequitia, it says in Latin, the negative things in us, our own moral defects. See the 7 deadly sins that I preached on last Sunday. That's the battle. It's primarily an interior battle. And the church says, okay, as you're about to enter this battle, the thing we're asking God for, we ask him. The English says, that we would be armed with the weapons of self-restraint. The Latin, again, it's a little bit more vivid. It prays that God might build a wall around us, the way a fort would have walls, the way those cities in Europe, have like big walls around the outside of the city. Moriamor, it's meant to say that we are walled in, we are protected, that God would give us fortifications. And here's the spiritual move, that the fortifications that will surround us, continence. Continence means to be able to hold back, to show restraint. We often think of it in a sexual sort of language, sexual continence, but it also means continence from any of the goods of the world. That's the disciplines then of prayer, fasting, almsgiving. We show that we're in control, that we can give up certain things. And this is actually our weapon. The word from the Latin prayer, it refers to help. Auxilium is help. But in battle, the auxilia, the auxiliary, is more appropriately like extra troops, reinforcements. That's the word in Latin when you're in a battle and you need extra help, and the neighboring troops come to your aid. That's an auxilium. So it's help, but it's a military kind of help. But beautifully in the prayer, the military extra troops, the reinforcements that are going to come to help us in this battle, continence, prayer, fasting, almsgiving. That's our help. All of that is how we begin this season of Lent. So this day, as we do these things, maybe if you've got a missal with this prayer in it, or you can just go online and Google, the opening prayer for the Mass of Ash Wednesday. These are our marching orders, as it were. It's a military, spiritual campaign to the death that we enter. It's serious business. But we enter this battle, of course, knowing where it leads. We are victorious in the end at Easter. But while we fight, if we really want to have good Easter, then we got to go on campaign. We've got to use our weapons of fasting, continence, so that we, in the end, can be victorious. Over Satan and his kingdom, certainly, Jesus won that battle. But the big battle that we start today is the interior one, to purify our hearts, to be ready to celebrate with joy the coming feasts. May we be prepared today for this battle, and as good Christian soldiers, let's enter this fight, and let's fight to win.